Well, welcome back, subscribers, to another movie review. Today is going to be the movie review of the classic Lucio Fulci film, City of the Living Dead. This is also known as The Gates of Hell. This is like one of the first Lucio Fulci films I saw. I also saw Zombie, The Beyond, and House by the Cemetery pretty much in the same year. Um, when I originally picked this up to a video rental, a lot of people who know what I'm talking about, VHS, big old box and Gates of Hell. It's a really sad to know that there's no longer video stores. But anyway, when I originally saw this film, it was around '92, I think it was. So that we're going back 26 years ago. Um, I was like, man, I because I was really getting into horror films around 89, 90, and then I picked this up, and I was like, man, this is something I've been looking forward to because I hear a lot of people in the horror community at that time actually talk about it, more so now than then. But anyway, this is the Blu-ray that I bought. I got this. It's got a lot of special features on here. The sound is like awesome. It's like a 7.1 on the sound. It's got a making of the City of the Living Dead. It's got interviews with a lot of some of the cast and behind the scenes. It's got an acting with Catriona MacColl, an interview with Giovanna Lombardo Radice, memories of the Maestro, marketing of the Living Dead, trailer, radio spots. It's got a lot of great special features in here. But so basically, Gates of Hell is basic plot about the movie is where there's these zombies that are coming back from the dead, and they're taking over this city. Now it's about the seven gates of hell, and Catriona MacColl, who plays the lead actress in this, she is like a psychic, and in the beginning of the movie, you see this one lady trying to contact the dead, and then she ends up dying, and you think that she's dead. Well, she's not. She gets buried, and then she starts to scream, and then this cop, played by the late Christopher George, hears like screaming, even though she's in the ground, and he digs her up and uses an axe, and it was like really close to her face. Um, Catriona MacColl has actually talked about that several times, that she was trying to keep her eyes open, but she couldn't keep her eyes open because it's like a real axe going down towards her face. And then just all the mayhem that goes around in this town, and you've got Bob, the character played Bob, played by Giovanni Lombardo Radice, who you may know who played in some of the other earlier films like um, House on the Edge of the Park was one of them, and he actually ended up playing in the remake of The Omen. He was a priest in that, and now Catriona MacColl actually has played in Beyond and House by the Cemetery, also directed by Mr. Fulci, and she also played in Hawk the Slayer, a movie review that I did in the past, and so basically there's a lot of gore in this, um, and there's one of the scenes that when I originally saw it, one of the scenes that really got to me is when the girl is in the car with Michelle Sauvé, who you may know directed Del Morte Del More, or The Cemetery Man, and also directed Stage Fright and played in Demons and Stage Fright as well. But she's in this car, and all of a sudden the dead priest comes up, and you see him staring into her face, and she starts to bleed out of her eyes. You see blood coming out of her eyes, and then all of a sudden you see her mouth just open, and all of her intestines come from flying out of her mouth, and that was a awesome scene to me. Um, Another thing that I thought was cool was when Bob he has this thing for this girl, and the father catches onto him, and the father throws him down onto this thing, and he starts to drill a hole through. You see the drill go through the head, come out the other side. It's just a lot of gore and performances. The acting in this movie is, is what it is. It was made in like 1980, I think, maybe 1980, 81, and but the acting is subpar. Um, the special effects, for being 30 some odd years ago, is awesome to me, because it's not you're so used to the CGI as it is today. You just watch these kind of films and you're like, hey man, I like rather watch these kind of films than the ones that put all the computer effects into. And there's the maggot scene in the movie where um, the people are in this house, and all of a sudden this window flies open and there's maggots flying everywhere, and a little funny part is you can see on people's face like there's glued like maggots glued to their face. Normally, if you got flying like maggots flying through the air, they're not going to stick to your face really, because I mean they're being flown out. But anyway, then you hear all the crumbs on the floor and on the phone. Um, uh, yeah, let me just go into the actors in this. I've already said the late Christopher George and Katrina McCall, Carlo Di Maggio. I mean, he plays a great male lead in this movie. Let me see if I can say her name correctly. Anatella Enerlingtha. I could be wrong about that. She did a great performance in this as well. Daniela Doria, Fabrizio Jovine, and Janet Agrin. Janet Agrin, actually, she's played in some other Italian films, um, and she plays a pretty good part in this. So you've got some great character acting like Christopher George. You may remember, a lot of people may remember him to go on to play in Pieces, and earlier in in the '70s he played in Grizzly. Um, so this is kind of like Fulci's like setup. You had Zombie, The Beyond, City of the Dead, House Cemetery. Then you go on to New York Ripper, and then you have Demonia, Voices Beyond. It's sad that he's no longer with us, but this was a really great splatter. Not really splatter, but a really great Italian gore fest, with the blood, and the other part was where the zombie will grab them by the head and squish their head, and the brains pop out of the back of their head. Um, I'm really happy to have this Blu-ray, and the picture quality on this is awesome. There's probably better versions of this movie out, but this I'm really happy just to have what I have. The sound and the picture and the special features on here is really loaded with stuff in here. Now, if I was going to rate this out of 5 stars, I would give this a 4.5. If I was going to rate this from a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this a definitely 8. Um, would I recommend this? Of Sure. Any horror aficionado or horror fanatic would love this movie. Not only for the gore effects, but for the atmosphere that Mr. Fulci has done in the film, and it's great. I mean, Dardano Sassachi, who helped write the movie with Fulci, he does a really great um, script on this, and the Gino Di Rossi, the guy that did the special effects, actually talks on here, and he's a really great makeup artist and special effects artist. That a lot of these Italians are really great. It's hard to say. The acting, like I said, the acting is really good. The atmosphere is awesome. The blood and gore is good. There's hardly, I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think there was any nudity in this movie. I think might have been a little sex and nudity in a little scene about with the girl. I haven't seen it in a little while, but Um, Definitely going to be checking this out again. And so yeah, I mean that's pretty much about it. I mean, like I said, you have gore, you got um, atmosphere, you've got um, character acting, you've got great performances in the movie. The script is not bad. I mean, a lot of people uh, when you think of Fulci, a lot of people, a lot of fans of Fulci think of Zombie or The Beyond or House by the Cemetery. This falls right in there as well, and I can't talk too much about more about this movie other than if you haven't seen it, stream it if you can, or spend the money and buying it. It's definitely worth buying. It's definitely worth watching. It's got like I said, I've said many times, it's the gore, the atmosphere, the the character acting in this, even the performances, other than Christopher George, and the sound. If you buy the Blu-ray, the sound in the picture is like really, really, really great. Um, so yeah, that's my review of City of the Living Dead. I mean, rambled on for over 11 minutes, but you know what? If you like these videos, leave me a comment down below. Give this a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can get notifications on any more videos in the future. So, my name is Brad. This was Richter's Reviews, and I will catch you tomorrow for another review, but that one will be a big one. So, stay tuned for that.